Hey Violiners, welcome back to the Violining Studio. So far we've done the tapping exercises, the bowing exercises, we've gone through the bow hold, the violin hold, some basics before we start playing, making sure that you know how to tune, how to set up your violin, and make sure that you're comfortable when you're playing. So whether you're sitting or standing, we're gonna do the same exact thing. Just make sure that your posture is perfect and that your violin is in tune. We're going to start with the A major scale. The reason for that is because we usually start with the A and E strings first when we start playing the violin. I'm gonna talk to you in terms of half steps and whole steps. Remember that whole step is when fingers are apart with enough space to fit one more finger there. And half steps are when fingers are together and there is no space for extra fingers in between. Knowing that, I'm going to explain the A major scale. The A major scale has 3 sharps: F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. In my theory lessons later on, I will explain why it has 3 sharps. I'm not going to get into that today. I want to show you how to play this scale. So I want to get more practical with it. Now, if you don't have a sharp in front of a note, you're just gonna assume you're playing the natural note, okay? So if you don't have a sharp, if you don't have a sign for the note, that's a natural note. If you have a sign like F sharp, C sharp, or G sharp, you're gonna know that that finger is sliding up from its natural spot half a step higher. How are you going to know how much is that half a step? This is very easy. For example, if we have C, the C is second finger on A string. If you want to get C sharp, you're going to put your third finger right next to it, and you're going to see the place of that. And now remove the third finger and slide the second one in that same spot. And that's your C sharp. So half a step away, you can measure with your fingers and slide the finger there. That's one small tip before we start. So the A major scale starts on A and it ends on A. Or if you want in solfege, it starts on La and it ends on La. That's why it's A major scale. We're starting on open A. We're gonna use the middle of the bow. So from here to here. Play open A. Now put your first finger, remember this? Put your first finger one step away from the beginning of the fingerboard. Now the second finger, whole step away from the first to get the C sharp. Now D right next to it, half a step. We're going on E, F sharp, which means one step away from the beginning of the fingerboard. G sharp, one step away from F. And A, half a step away, so right next to it. Let's do that one more time. I'm not gonna talk now. Open A. And let's do it backwards. Go on A string and put all 3 fingers there. Repeat this 5 times. One thing that is really important to remember is to think in terms of parallel fingers. So first finger on A string with the first finger on E string, they're exactly in the same spot. You're not changing, you're not putting this one here and this one here, unless the music says so, but we're not gonna get into that. I'm talking about A major scale. So your first finger is in the same spot. Your second finger is also in the same spot on both strings, the third finger is also in the same spot. Now we're not going to use our fourth finger yet. We're going to do that very, very soon. But you can try if you want on the way down to use your fourth finger if you're feeling a little bit more advanced. That was the A major scale. As a bonus, I'm going to give you a couple of bow exercises that you can do on the A major scale so you can start practicing coordination between the left and the right hand. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to double every note and play in the lower half of the bow. So we're not going to start at the beginning of the bow, at the frog. We're going to start 1/4 away from it. So somewhere on the second quarter until the middle. Double every note and only use that much bow, not more, not less. And back. You can notice that I'm not stopping my bow. This is very important. If you start digging into the string like, and you're probably gonna get that in the beginning, you need to work on lighter pressure and more speed. I'm gonna cover this in my next video, but for now, just make sure that you're moving constantly. The bow should be moving all the time. And it's also important to remember how to keep a straight bow, right? When you're in this part of the bow, when you're in the second quarter of the bow, your arm is no longer opening on the side. It's only opening from the elbow down in front of you. That's really important to remember, because if you start opening on the side and you start swaying like this, your sound is gonna get whistly. You're not gonna get a good, you're just not gonna get a good quality sound. So be careful about that. The last thing that we're gonna do today is we're gonna practice using the whole bow. So we're gonna have one note per bow, one very long note per bow. We're gonna count to 4, so that's a whole note. And let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe. 2, breathe, 3, 4, shoulders down. Keep your bow straight. 3, 4. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. We're getting on the A string, don't stop your bow. 2, 3, 4. Move the thumb a little bit to relax the grip here, okay? And now back. Make sure you don't dig into the string like, don't accent the beginning of every note. Smooth transition, bow change. Use your fingers. You can use your fourth finger. Smooth. Whatever you're doing when you're practicing, don't forget to breathe. I have a lot of students. I know this may seem a little bit funny, and like, of course, I'm not gonna forget to breathe. But you would be surprised in how many people are holding their breath when they're playing because they're focusing so hard on what they're trying to do that you kind of forget. You hold your breath until finally you take a breath after some time. So make sure that you align your breathing with how you're moving. As another bonus to this video, I wanted to show you that if you know how to play the A major scale, you're going to know how to play the D major and the G major scale. Why? Because they have the same exact setup. Now, I'm going to go into details in another video on D major and the G major scale, but I'm going to show you really quickly why they're so similar. They just have a different starting point. So this was A major. If you start from D major with the same finger placement in the same exact spot, you're going to get D major. And the same thing starting from G, you're going to get G major. Try it and let me know how it goes. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you're going to be able to follow the video and make a nice little practice session for you and learn this A major scale. And I'll see you in the next video where I'm going to explain bow control, bow direction, bow speed, and bow distribution. So stay with me. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video, and stay in tune with yourself.